Why would you be watching the Gold Cup when NBA Summer League is happening right now?
Because that means nothing to me. Just like OTAs. Yesterday,
I'm being facetious, by the way.
Right, of course. Yesterday, there was a video. I'm sure you saw it. Bronny James off a steal, getting a nice dunk on the other side of the court. That's wonderful. It's Summer League. I hope he can do that with an open lane off a steal. That's great. Just like Shedeur Sanders looks wonderful at OTAs. It's the same thing. It means nothing. Nothing.
At least there's competition in Summer League. Sometimes these highlights are shown in like 7-on-7 drills where there's no pass rush or anything that's going on. But I'm going to tell you this. We are now in July of 2025.
Yep.
We saw Bronny get drafted in June of 2024. I agree with you with all of this Summer League stuff. I think it's completely overblown. I actually think it reached its peak around the Lonzo Ball era. Remember they sold out the Thomas and Mack Center in UNLV? Yep. Like, I feel like it's kind of regressed a little bit since then, isn't as crazy as it was. But I'm going to say this about Bronny James. After a year, I've made my own rule. No more hating on Bronny James.
Wow.
It stops here. The buck stops here, Monse. And the reason why is this. We can hang on to all of this. But if he is performing in the G League, where they don't play any defense whatsoever, if he is having 10 points in 11 minutes, at some point he's going to have to prove it. The way it all went down with LeBron and saying you're only going to go to Phoenix, you're only going to go to the Lakers and have it pigeonholed in that way, I don't think was great. But at some point, you, Isaac, Jason, Ryan, and especially me, have to get over it. And I'm not saying that all of you guys were over it or not over it, but the fact is you got to move on at some point.
I'm totally on board with that. Let's move on from the fact that he was a draft pick in the second round for the Lakers when he shouldn't have been. Let's move on from that. Absolutely.
I think 12 months, we're 12 months removed. Time to move on.
He's still there, and he's playing. And this isn't a dig on Bronny. This is just like, yeah, I hope he can do that off a steal without a defender. The guy just backed off, and he dunked. Yeah, I hope he can do that. That's great.
If he carves out a career as a defensive menace was the phrase that he used, at 6'2", if you can do that in the NBA, you know what? Tip of the cap, Bronny.
Absolutely.
And now is that point. I feel like a year was good. I felt when the NCAA tournament was going on, that's where Bronny should have been, shining instead of in front of a few hundred fans watching a G League game, if that.
Yeah.
But now is the time. It's been long enough. We don't have to hold on to the past. I think we now kind of at least have to be on the side of Bronny James, who's going to have to figure out a way to carve out his own NBA career.
Right. The topic of conversation with Bronny now changes. It now shifts beyond just the draft pick.
And he could be an all-star if he gets 30 in his next Summer League game. We'll find out. Just kidding.